The idol of the moment will be replaced, as will the bestseller of the moment, and the box office success of the moment, and the politician of the moment. All will fade. Perhaps that's why we listen to classical music and go to the opera, to hear unfading glory. Eugenia Zuckerman now on a great singer who has endured.
It was 30 years ago that Jerome Hines electrified the American television audience with his performance as Boris Godunov, the doomed, mad Russian Tsar of Mussorgsky's powerful and haunting opera. Jerome Hines is still singing Boris and giving that young singer on the screen a good run for his money.
Over your 50-year career, do you feel that your voice has changed?
Not terribly much. The range of the voice has not changed at all. The low voice is about the same. The high voice is a little more secure now.
And what a bass Jerome Hines is. After a record-breaking 41 consecutive seasons and 830 performances with the Metropolitan Opera, he still maintains an active schedule of concerts and recitals, such as this performance just last month at the Portland Opera. At age 71, Jerome Hines remains at the top of his form. That Jerome Hines has enjoyed such enduring success might surprise anyone who attended his inauspicious debut with his 7th grade glee club.
After the first concert, the teacher, her name was Miss Clark, she said somebody ruined the concert last night by singing off pitch. And I'm going to find out who it was. And she began going down each row of seats, having each kid repeat that melody on the piano. She got to me, she said, do that again. I did. She says, you are the one.
He was thrown out of the glee club. A few years later, he found the right singing coach, and his career took off. At age 25, he joined the Metropolitan Opera. By the early 1950s, he was a mainstay on network television.
As his next song of the evening, Jerome Hines with the Firestone Chorus.
Of course, the Firestone TV was the biggest. I must have done 45 or 50 of those shows over a period of 13 years.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark.
At that time, we had an enormous recital business in America, and that just gave me big audiences every place I went. I became a household name at that time.
And that included the first household. Jerome Hines sang for President Kennedy 4 times, and for other legendary world leaders. In the fall of 1962, he was in Moscow, the first American ever to sing Boris Godunov at the Bolshoi. On the day the Cuban Missile Crisis erupted, the Soviet leader, Nikita Khrushchev, was in the audience.
When the performance was over, I was whisked immediately into a large reception room where he was waiting. I stood normally at 6'6½", and with 3-inch heels, I was 6'9½", dressed as his czar. He was 5'4". No, вы очень высокий, you are very tall. I said, Mr. Khrushchev, I want to warn you that I am a California midget. So now you know why they backed down on Cuba. That's the real reason.
devout Christian, Jerome Hines has performed many times in an opera he wrote about the life of Christ entitled, I Am the Way.
As I wrote this work, here I am reading very, deeply into the scriptures, particularly the Gospel of John, and it began to affect me. I really feel that it is something that is important to get that message across. And so we have produced it, as I said, literally all over the United States, and in June of next year, we'll be performing, God willing, this opera at the Bolshoi in Moscow.
And I know that thou hearest me always, but because of the people that stand by thy spirit, the pain may be thou hast sent me.
He credits his lengthy career in very large measure to his religious faith.
How many times I've said to myself, I'm thinking back now when I was just past 50, I was having a lot of troubles. I had cancer, had all kinds of things happen. And I just had ready to give up. I said, I've had it. I'm finished. My voice is falling apart. I want to quit. And then that inner voice says, no. I command you to continue. I order you. Now get up and go.
What are you singing today for us?
I'm going to sing O Patria Mia.
O Patria Mia. Okay, let's have it.
Today, Jerome Hines devotes much of his time to OMPTI, Opera Music Theater International, a group he founded 5 years ago to help young singers develop their careers.
It just does my heart good to see these people who probably would not have made it if we hadn't given them that extra boost and hadn't found out what might prevent that career in their own personality and really sometimes have to kick them in the head a bit to get them to change so that they will not fall through the cracks.
Man River, it just keeps a-rolling along.
There is no stopping Jerome Hines. More than half a century after his professional debut, he keeps his career going on and on with appearances such as this one last summer in Redlands, California.
But I'm very glad I was an opera singer, and I have enjoyed it. I love being on the stage, and I consider it a rare privilege to have had this long career.
Love gets weary and sick of trying, as tired and living